Hey guys, it's TaysGreenLife. We're here with Diseased Earth with Travis Simmons. Hi, Travis Simmons.
What's up?
Hey, how's it going? So you consider yourself master of spoken rituals. What does that mean?
It's just basically a fancy way of saying I'm the vocalist, that I make noises and stuff like that. I've always kind of akin myself to a manic street preacher up on the pulpit. And so that's just interesting way of saying it. Instead, I know a lot of bands used to put vocals in there, and I was like, oh, that drives me crazy. So I was like, something a little different.
Um, so there was a saying on your profile. I think it was your profile. Yeah, it was. That is not dead, which can eternal lie, and with strange ions, even death may die. Um, what does that saying mean to you?
It's a quote from H.P. Lovecraft, who is one of my favorite authors, and it's just saying that like there are things out there that are older and stranger than what we know, and that you know they will still exist once we are no longer a blight upon the universe.
Okay. So, how long have you considered yourself the master of spoken rituals?
I mean, I don't really consider myself anything. I've been doing vocals since, oh God, I was like 16. So I'm just turned 40. So I've been playing in and out of bands for a long time. So I just get up there, do my thing. I don't have a rhyme or reason. I just make noises that sound inhuman.
I was like, I was listening and I was like, oh my God, is that a dying animal? I'm just kidding. No, for real. Like, the screams are pretty deep, and I actually kind of enjoy it. Like, it like I listen to louder music because it distracts me from like the thoughts that are in my head. So I tend to listen to music that I wouldn't be able to understand because I mean I can't even sing like that. I probably would like die if I tried. And so it's really cool that instead of saying you're like a vocalist, you're just like, oh, I'm a master of spoken rituals, and it's cool. Like the meaning behind it's very cool and realistic and not realistic, ritualistic. Um, and is that something that you tend to believe in?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely think that music is still something that from our primal roots that we still do to this day, and that it's just something it's fun to do. So we go and we do it and everything like that. I mean, it's also like I don't take myself too seriously. Like I don't play music to get famous. I don't want to be known. I don't do that. I tattoo for a career. That's where I make my money. Music
Yeah,
is what I do because I love it, and it's the only form of therapy that has ever been successful for me.
that is very appreciated. Because mental health is very important. And it's great when you do something like you use your hobby to do something that makes you happy. Like I have a full-time job. I'm not like this all the time. Um, and I honestly hate talking to people when I'm like not like it's because like I have a social like anxiety, and like being social like makes me freak out because I'm like, oh God, what if I say something and it's embarrassing? And it's great that you take something you love and you bring it out, and you're this different person compared to who you are when you tattoo. Um, how long have you been a tattoo artist?
I've been tattooing for over 10 years now. So something I started just kept doing it. And I actually gave up music because my oldest band was around for like 8 to 9 years, I believe. And then I took a break for like a couple years and focused on tattooing before Disease Earth kind of got together and stuff like that. But it is a weird thing because like people see me on stage and I can be charismatic and stuff like that. And then as soon as I get to the merch booth and stuff, I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to look at you. It's just, I hate it. But it's the same with tattooing. Like it's hard being social because you got to build up these social connections with people and do all this stuff and then immediately dump it and like form it with the next person, especially way I tattoo, I can get anywhere between pre-COVID, we were doing 7 to 14 tattoos a day. Now, on average, about five, maybe depends on the day how busy it is. But
Mhm.
each person have to form this connection, talk to them, get them through the process, then dump it and immediately start again. So a lot of times when I come home, I'm dead. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm socially drained. Thankfully, it's just me and my puppy. So and she doesn't ever want anything but treats and hugs, so I'm good on that.
Just hug your puppy.
Yeah, exactly. So she's
Yeah, I have three cats, so and one of them's been driving me insane lately, and I'm like, I kind of want to get rid of her, but I'm like, I can't do that. That's my animal. I took her in. I didn't have to take her in, but I took her in, so I can't just be like, she's too difficult because she's not fixed right now, so she like attacks everything, and
oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's because she's a female and
Mm-hmm.
they're just mean because I'm she's a cat, so she's a very young cat. So she's
Mm,
still kind of a kitten. So she thinks like
yeah.
smacking me is okay. And I'm like, okay, no, that's not okay. You're not allowed to smack me.
No, I completely understand. We have a neighborhood cat. I don't know whose cat it is. We just call it Bush Cat. She literally lives in my bush and she'll jump out at you and then kind of just run away.
Let's talk more. You are located in where'd you say you're located in Northern Virginia?
We're no, it's more like I guess you could almost consider it Southwest Virginia. Like we're near Harrisonburg, Charlottesville, kind of between that. We're in Stanton, so kind of like right on 81 and 64 where they
Mhm.
meet. So not quite Northern Virginia, and not quite West Virginia, and not quite down south as far as like Roanoke. We're kind of like in this. We're right in the Shenandoah Valley.
And do you think the music is different there compared to how Richmond is or Southern Virginia?
I mean, Virginia's got a pretty diverse scene regardless. I mean, I've been in it for so long now. There's so many different bands. You have all the bands in Richmond, which go from sludge to grind to death metal to
Mhm.
pop and everything. And then Virginia Beach is its own little thing. Like, I mean, it's just literally like everywhere has something. Our area unfortunately was plagued with not having many bands lately, but it seems that's kind of cool because it's starting to kind of come back. And typically, it seems like it's the younger people come in, they start bands and kind of take over. But we've actually got a lot of older heads that are coming out, like dudes that are like in their 50s that are now starting bands and doing stuff. And that's pretty awesome to see.
I think it was mostly because like so I didn't well, I mean, I did quarantine when I was sick, of course, but I did not have to stay indoors because of my job. So
Right.
my job didn't close. My job didn't do anything for me. They still made me work. Like I didn't get to stay home and explore, my emotional habits. My mental health went like down. Like, yeah, people are alone, but they have stuff to kind of like bring them out of it. I worked I did overnights. So like it was draining. And I think having like something to do when you're locked in really helped bring out people out of their shell and brought them to like love their hobbies more and to be like serious with them because that's all they had, you know.
Right.
Um, I still had to deal with people like, and it's a little bit different when you're like locked in and then you're not locked in because then the
Mm-hmm.
people that do venture out are very like they're not good people. um,
No.
so like there was a lot of crying and like I hated working overnights because I was always scared all the time. And I didn't get to explore those hobbies that people got to do at home. And like it's kind of envious that people had all this time to like take care of their hobbies and grow and sit at home and just sit, an idea. Like they got time
Mm-hmm.
to think about an idea. They didn't have to like, but they're then if you think about it, the people that weren't working, they were also like under stress as well
Oh
because
yeah.
yeah, a lot of their jobs didn't like take care of them. Some people
Yeah.
just got like they just had to be on like government assistant and food stamps and like it made me like bitter a little bit because I'm like the people that are working we're not allowed to get like food stamps and like stuff like that because the government's like, oh well, your job will take care of you. So then there's like I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm probably ranting. I'm so sorry. I meant there was
It,
a reason why I was saying what I was saying. Um, let's go back. People being in their house and they're able to learn like things. They're able to take their hobby seriously because that's all they have, like they
right.
had the ability and time to set aside to like do stuff like that. And I think that was very good to some people. Some of it wasn't good because some people's mental health, dropped a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
there were others that took this time apart from society to build things that they love. And I think that's very empowering too. Like it taught us like we don't care anymore. We just want to be happy. And I think
Right.
that's what you're trying to do as well with the scene. Like you're trying to show that you're happy and you're doing what you love, and it makes other people want to. And a lot of people are also doing the same thing too, and it's amazing. I grew up in a society that was told that you're not allowed to be who you wanted to be, and now more people are doing things they want to do. Um, yeah.
No, you're absolutely right, but I mean, it's also like, even though the ones of us that were stuck in, like, there's uncertainty with it. Like, we were shut down for 3 months by order of the governor, and if we were tried to tattoo,
Oh well, yeah,
we
that's definitely.
we'd lose our license and stuff. And my job is a job that I have to be in close proximity with people, and like,
Yes.
people do not care. I've seen so many people that have come in that'll leave and then call the shop, be like, "Oh yeah, my husband's got COVID, by the way." Then why were you in here? Like, it's insane on every aspect. The people
Yeah.
that were considered essential and didn't get the chance to do anything, they got to, unfortunately, had to experience a little bit of hell, because I don't know what happened to society. We went to from being, like, somewhat decent, to being
Yes.
people being just completely going animalistic and destroying each other.
Somebody fought me. Like they didn't like fight me, but they would have if I. There's like protocols that I have to follow because I work for a pharmacy, so things are a little bit different than like normal retail jobs. So like I have to be around sick people. So my work will not pay me if I'm sick unless I get vaccinated. So like if I let's say I got the flu and I didn't get vaccinated, my work won't pay me for sick leave now.
Hmm.
And that was something that they were forcing on all of us too when vaccinations were going around too. They were like threatening my job. And like I felt like I had to, get injected, and it sucks because like I like where I work, but I don't want to like do things that like I don't agree with just to
Right.
get a paycheck. And like people treated me like dog crap. Like they treated me so bad and they were so mean. And I was just like, I'm literally doing the same thing you're doing, lady. Like you think I don't want toilet paper?
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
selling you toilet paper and you don't think I want it? Like,
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to where I lived. The job gave me like I mean, not benefits, but they were like, we're giving you some toilet paper just for staff and like waters and stuff like that. But that's all they gave us. They even like took away hurricane pay because we were hit by a hurricane during COVID too.
Damn.
Uh, so that was great. And it does make me happy and experience a different side of society now. People also they don't care too.
No.
I've noticed they just don't care anymore. They don't want to be nice to people. Like they just don't care, and I think that's also a big problem. Because a lot of people are like trying to build a community and like voice out and be like these groups of people, and then you have people that just don't care. They're just like, whatever, I don't care. I don't want to be your friend, and that's also very sad too.
It
Because
really
I
is.
feel
Yeah.
like a community is way better for society than people just caring for themselves. And that's what COVID did. It taught people to only care about themselves because that's basically what the government said. Like, sorry, you got to get your own food and everything, and you can't leave your house.
Yeah, it's rather unfortunate, and we revert to that animal state and everything,
Yeah.
instead of getting together, and people can't realize, like, we're all under stress, we're all in this together. And yeah, the government kind of showed us they're not our friends. So if anything, we should have been nicer to each other, to be like, hey, you need some toilet paper? Well, I got plenty, but I need this and you have this. So, we didn't go back to the barter system. It kind of just became dog eat dog, and everybody being out there being like, well, well, forget this. I'm entitled to this. I'm owed this.
Yeah.
Like,
um, it sucked one like it was nice getting that money because it helped me like it made me put a little bit aside, but I still was paying bills because I lived with a partner that wasn't able to cover his costs at the time.
mhm.
So I had to like use some of that money, and like it did teach me to budget a little bit better because I was like I kind of want to save money now because like this is a perfect time. I can't go anywhere.
Right.
And businesses were more laid back about bills and stuff. So I was able to like build up my credit and stuff like that. We're supposed to be talking about music. But business matters too. You also run a business too. Because you are a tattoo artist, so it basically you run your own business.
Yeah, basically I'm
Yeah.
self-employed. I work for myself,
Yes.
I'm the employee. If I get sick, then I don't make money,
Yes.
so And that was kind of the big thing with COVID and stuff and everything. It's just, it's rather unfortunate, so, but it is life and we survived this far. So,
So what was one of your best places that you played in Virginia?
well, I mean, another round in Richmond's always been fun. I've always enjoyed every show we've played there. It's always been a great atmosphere. One of my favorite shows of all time, though, was what was that place called? It was Phil's Grill in Virginia Beach. It was like right on the beachfront, and this was my old band, but there was a room about like 40 people that were just there beating the shit out of each other to our music, and it was pretty awesome. One guy said he actually like negotiated to have his leave from the Navy when we were playing and stuff, and like that was pretty awesome. But I mean, I don't know, man. Virginia's just I've always, been here all my life and always had good shows and everything like that. I've toured this country. I've played like multiple states, but Virginia is always home. And, Richmond's always been kind to us. Charlottesville used to be our second home, but we unfortunately lost most of the venues there. We're about to play in Harrisonburg, which is our closest, biggest city. We're about to play at the Golden Pony, which has been incredible to us over the years. They've given us the opportunity to open for bands like Crowbar and I Hate God and stuff like that. So pretty stoked that place is still kicking and going and made it through the pandemic and stuff. But I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I love when people are into our music,
Mhm.
but I play music solely for the fact that it's what keeps me from blowing my brains out. And so it's awesome when people are into it, but at the end of the day, I just get up there and I play the same if there's two people or 200, doesn't matter.
That's great. That's great. I read a post the other day when it was like, I'm not lazy. I just didn't want to kill myself. So I used all my energy, and like that's what I was like telling like I shared it and then I was saying that to people. I was like, I know it like seems like I'm lazy, but it's just like I've used so much of my energy to, you know, take care of
Mm-hmm.
myself that now I don't have any more energy to clean up or like throw away something. Like I will get to it when I have the energy. And like people don't realize like hobbies are a form of to get, away from your demons and a way to like get away from the negativity in your life. It's you become a different person. Especially like
Yeah.
'cause I also do pop-ups. So I'll set up like a table with like a big canopy and a poster and I'll sell like candles and stuff. And people will come up to me and they'll ask me, "What's your ingredients? What is this? What is this?" Or there'll be people that will be like, "This is the coolest stuff I've ever seen. I can't believe you make them." And it's because I'm also like into witchcraft. So
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of like the herbal medicines and stuff, and there'll be people yelling at me all the time. They're like, "You are like into Satan and you're crazy," and I'm like, "I do none of that." I was like, "I don't talk to Satan." I was like, "I talk to like the earth basically and ask the earth
Right.
to take care of me." And like some of the meanings behind your music, I hope I said this earlier. I probably already said it. I'm jumping back to it. That is not dead, which can eternal lie, and with strange aeons or ions, ions,
Eons, ions,
eons,
it's eons. It's
eons. Even death may die. We probably already talked about this, but what is the meaning behind it?
yeah, we definitely talked about it before, but it's a quote from Lovecraft. He's my favorite author, and it's just a
Yeah.
cool quote because like people think so much of like what they know and everything like that, and everybody's so quick to point to, well, this religion's right, this religion's right. Well, what if none of
Yes.
it's right? What if there's things that predate there? Like you say, you're into talking to the earth. Like I mean, that's the oldest form of thing we know. Look, you look at like Native Americans and stuff; they were always in tune with the earth and everything like that, and we as a society have kind of gotten away from that. And you
Yes.
know and there's nothing wrong with the religion as long as you're not using to attack people. If it makes
Yeah.
you feel better and be a better person, that's awesome. But there's a lot of people that weaponize it and use it for power and control, and I'm not about that life.
No, and like your music, other people will be like so judgmental, be like, "Oh my God, like how can you listen to that? That just sounds so horrible." And I'm like, "That's the soothingest music I've ever heard."
Oh
Like,
yeah, there's so many studies coming out now that show that
yes,
like heavy metal calms people down and stuff. But you get people like my mom who are like, I can't stand that screaming. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Well, I can't stand, listening to Florida Georgia Line. It makes me want to blow
I
my
can't,
that makes me want to blow my brains out. So like,
literally.
there's a trade-off here. But I think, I understand for most people, they just hear the screaming and stuff. And so I kind of have gotten used to it. I hear it a lot at work because my other tattooers will bring up, well, Travis is in a band, and they're like, oh, play me something. And then I'm just like, I don't really want to be singled out right now. I just want to do my job. But then I play it for them, and they're all like, well, that's kind of cool, I guess. And I'm just like, yeah, like this is why I don't really talk about it because I don't want to have these conversations. I've had these conversations for 20 plus years about this stuff. So, but at the end of the day, it's like, it's what makes me happy. So
Yes,
makes
that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I swear you mentioned the term sludge. What is a sludge band?
So sludge is definitely a form of genre. It's kind of based off of doom metal, where doom metal is more like just slow and prodding. Sludge will be still kind of have a little bit of groove to it. It's definitely a lot of it comes from like a lot of the bands in like Louisiana and stuff like that. And like, definitely like when I think of sludge, I think of bands like I Hate God, Crowbar, and stuff like that. Like, yeah, they are slow and heavy, but they also still kind of have a groove to it. And we definitely try to encompass that. We kind of call it death sludge because we also have a little bit of death metal influence, and especially with the vocals and stuff like this. And it's kind of we take what we like and we put it together, and it's what works.
That's cool. That's cool. You came out with I saw it on here, a new EP, or it might have not been new. My dates are all messed up, and I apologize. Uh, you came out with an EP, The Swamp Witch. What is that?
The Swamp Witch was actually just a single.
Okay.
So during the pandemic, we kind of been releasing singles pretty steadily. We've released 7 so far,
Mhm.
and we just kind of feel like it definitely is kind of cool because it plays to everybody's more like lower attention spans nowadays. Because we'll do a single, give it about a month, month and a half, then put out a new one and stuff. We recently did just take all 7 singles that we released and put them together and put it out on this album called Welcome to Plague Years, which a lot of people are saying it's a full length. It's technically a full length, but it's really just a compilation CD of, excuse me, of all those songs put together, just to have so they have them in one spot to listen to them.
Are you on any other platform? You're also besides Spotify or anything like that, just mostly Spotify?
Yeah, we use like a lot of musicians nowadays. We use DistroKid, so
Mhm.
DistroKid puts us on everything. So we're on Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, like I mean, pretty much anything and everything. Because so we're on everything. We have a YouTube channel. I upload videos and stuff when I get a chance and everything, but it's more just like live footage stuff like that. We have an Instagram, we have Twitter. The only thing we don't have is TikTok because I don't like TikTok and I refuse to use it. I'm not
I
gonna.
hate it so much. I post maybe like 2 or 3 times out of the month, maybe. And I'm just like, I hate it. I don't want to create little TikTok dancing videos. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be part of the algorithm. And now, like when you look at my profile, it says rising creator, and I'm like, oh great, now like more people are gonna see. um,
Right.
so like I was like, this is the perfect time to start buying ads, and
Hmm.
I was like, I don't want to be an ad.
Right.
So I didn't even take a picture, like a picture of me like podcasting or anything. I took a picture of me doing like my candles and stuff too. So
Hmm.
like you'll see this girl that's sitting at a pop up with all these herbal products, and then you see a link to a metal podcast, and you're like, uh, so I'm trying to run 2 things at once, and like my candles, I really want like I want to make something besides like talking to people. I love like talking to people, but I like to make things too, and
Right.
having like um advertising candles. Um, that one's a sleepy time. So I've created candles that I would use. Um, and you do the same with TikTok. I mean, not TikTok, tattoos, tattoos. You will create something and put it on someone's skin, and that's pretty cool. That person's gonna have your artwork forever, unless they like take one off the internet. you know?
And
But
that's majority of
yeah,
what people get. 95% of my job is doing the same Pinterest tattoos over and over. Every once in a while, somebody gets something out of my flash book or something, I can't create it. And that's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. It's still a very surreal thing to me, even though I've been doing it for 10 years now, that I'm like, oh yeah, that's on them forever. I did that. Like, I'm just like, huh.
it's cool.
It's but I mean, it's a very cool thing. Like you said, you want to be known for more than just podcasts. You're creating something and doing it. I create music and tattoos. You're creating candles. We all have something to contribute to leave a legacy,
Yes.
more. And that's why I don't understand, like, why I want to say normal people, but so many people are just, they don't like put themselves out there and try to do something. They're like, well, I'm scared to do this. So, like, well, why? Because what's the worst you could fail? That's, when I got to offer the tattoo, I took a good week, thought about it, and I was like, well, worst thing I can do is fail. And it turns out I was like, okay, cool, I'm decent at this. I got to work for it. I still work for it to this day, getting better at everything. But like, it's better than working some meaningless job where I, go home hating myself and everything like that. At least,
Literally.
at least it gives me freedom. I mean, I can literally pick up today and go to any country in the world because every country has tattooing. So
You learned a trait that is honestly more people our age. I'm like 20, like 27. So like more people in our age group try to get more ink on their body and they're trying to
yeah.
be more alternative. And I think that's great. But then you have like the next generation that has like no idea the blood, sweat, and tears that
Well,
we face to be who we want to be. And
yeah.
now it's a trend. And I'm like,
Well, it's also not so much as the younger people too. Like there's a good demographic of older people that are coming out. I have one client that's 78 years old. He started when he was like 68 getting tattoos. So, I mean, it's a good mix of it and everything because, a lot of the old negative connotation is starting to die off. Like, because it was a lot of that older generation that kept
yeah,
like, oh, well, tattoos are this and that. So, but there is also the influx of the younger people that are now coming in and they're like, oh, well, hey, I want to get a face tattoo. I've literally had people come in for their first tattoo and want a face tattoo. I'm like, nah, man. Like, I
no.
still keep that old school mentality. I waited till I was like 30 something to get my hands done and stuff. And like, it's part of it
Yeah,
because
I was
once you,
like thinking about it too. I was like, maybe I should, like, maybe I should get my fingers done. But then I was like, but they're gonna fade away, and I was like, who cares? Like
yeah,
I'm gonna live. Hopefully, I live to like 80 or 90, like just decked out with like flowers and stuff all over my body. Like, why not?
yeah,
I'm doing something I love, and
yeah,
more people are doing things they love, and that's important.
yeah, it
Because
definitely is.
we are in the month of February, of course, hearts over here.
Mm.
But yeah, more people should, love themselves and treat themselves better and be more positive. And the fact that there are people out there that are willing to do that, like, is amazing. There's a whole group of us just want to be positive and happy and follow our dreams, and that's amazing. And I enjoyed talking to you about it. Your tattoos, like, what's the name of your shop?
Tattooed in the Wild studio in Waynesboro, Virginia. We got four of us and our apprentice. Well, she's my apprentice and everything like that. So yeah, it's fun. It works. It gives me the freedom to go play music and stuff like that. So that's all that really matters. That's
Mhm.
at the end of the day what I, make money and play music and have fun.
So, when is Disease Earth popping up? Where can people go see you perform live?
Is it next week? Yeah, next week, February 9th, we are playing at the Golden Pony in Harrisburg. It's a benefit for Mac Rock, which is a big festival they do every year that has like bands from every genre. All the proceeds raised from that go to Mac Rock. It's us, our friends Crowed, Infernal Gaze, and The Illusionist playing. Let me think. March 10th, we are playing at Crayola again in Harrisonburg, which is a house venue that's been there for over 20 years. I remember going to shows there when I was like 20. It's
Mhm.
crazy. And then April, we're playing again in Crayola with our buddies Betty Gray, The Sound That Ends Creation, and Terror Cell. And that's all we got booked right now. We got a couple other offers in the pipe, but just mostly waiting to see what schedules are like and everything
Okay.
like that. Two of our members have families. I work a full time career. Everybody else works and stuff. So managing that life sometimes gets a little difficult, but if anybody just follows us on social media, you'll see every time we do something, it gets posted. So I
Yeah.
stay on that. So
So where exactly can we find you? You said you have an Instagram, you have
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, all of it is set for TikTok. So
Yep.
everyone follow everyone else on Instagram and Facebook and all of them. Like it's set for
Yep.
TikTok. So
Yep, exactly. All you got to do is just search "diseased earth
yeah.
band" will pop up. Other we're like I said, we're on everything. Some
Mhm.
of it we may not use as much as others, but I try to update his stuff as much as possible and
Mhm.
everything. And unless something drastically changes or I get somebody that I pay to do it, we will never be on TikTok. Not gonna happen. You will not see
Never,
me
never
on.
happen.
You will not see me on there doing a dumb little dance. It's not gonna happen.
So you had a song that came out in October, Tearing the Heavens Asunder. Um,
Hmm.
what does that mean to you? And is that the only song that you guys plan on like putting out?
So, Tearing the Heavens Asunder was recorded at the same time as the Swamp Witch. We released it first.
Mhm.
Tearing the Heavens Asunder is it's a song. It's about the emotion I had. Like it's just one of those days I missed my dad, and I really just wish that I could like go and tear reality apart and bring him back, and it's like that when that overwhelming emotion of like wanting somebody to be there and you can't have them and everything like that, and that's just what that song is. It was, yeah, we recorded. Did we record it with? No, that was just the two songs. Yeah, so like we typically try to record a couple songs at a time, and then I said we dole them out. But "Tearing the Heavens Asunder" was the second to last song out of this series of singles. We have three other songs. Yeah, three other songs that have not been recorded yet. That hopefully we will at some point. But we'll have to see.
That's cool. I appreciate talking to you. This has been a great interview. We talked about mental health and how important it is to be happy. I hope to see you soon at your next show. Guys, this is Travis Simmons from Deceased Earth, Taylor from Tays Green Life, and it's been a pleasure.